Bortle here. We are with William Candina with his Dragon Link deck profile, guys. He won this weekend's past remote duel invitational qualifier, which allows him to play in the King of Games tournament. That's right, the remote duel invitational. What's up, William? How are you today?
I'm good. I'm a little tired, but deck worked out last weekend. Went really well. Stick to the game plan. Trip would say.
Let's go.
Just
What made you decide to stick with Dragon Link for this event, man?
it's just what I'm comfortable with, to be honest. The deck. I play it well. All I play really at this point. But things change now with this ban list. I have to switch it up. So yeah, it should be interesting.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And the cool part is you earned yourself another chance to become King of Games because I believe in the last tournament you placed fifth, right?
I did. It was unfortunate. I was the X1 who bubbled out.
Oh man, we're
Yeah.
totally rooting for you, man. So do you have any shoutouts before we start this deck profile?
Yeah, I got a few. All right, I want to shout out, let's see, my Team Playmakers. They're a lot of fun guys. Jib, Jack, Mike, Bill, Ryan, Enzo. Everybody's pretty cool there. I want to shout out Dennis for also making it to the finals. I want to shout out, let's see, I saw that Couch place finals, so good for him. I'm not sure who else placed. Oh, Enzo as well. Enzo placed, so yeah, shout out to all of them for qualifying. That should be fun to play them in the Invitational. Not much to say. Anything else?
Well, without further ado, please take it with the rest of your deck profile, man.
All right. Pretty safe for it. This is your best start rating fleet. It immediately just gets you two monsters. It's the best normal summon. Two chambers is the second best normal summon. It gets you an interruption. Gets you tidying. Tidying starts your whole engine basically. Ravine, discard tidying, get a free monster back. And then three Noctos. This card's your best extender in the whole deck. Summon Striker Dragon Chain like one channel two, Chain Block the Striker. This gets you a free draw. This can occasionally protect your back row. This card's insane. This card just always comes up when you need it.
Did running
So,
three ever clog? Because I've always seen people run like one or two. So three, I
I
think is
mean,
pretty nice.
I opened two, I think, a couple times this event, but if I was going second, I basically already lost because, I opened two and it's like one of them's already dead at that point, and I got pushed through probably like three negates or so. And if I open two going first, one just becomes discard fodder for like Claw Borrow or Ravine, or if it's there, it's always broken. If it's not there, you try to hope rounding resolves basically. Nothing much to say about that. This really like doesn't clog unless you don't see Normal. If you see Normal, this just becomes like +4. You get the draw, you get the Ravine, you get the free discard for the Azure to get you to the Tracer and play from there. As long as you open a Normal Summon, you're fine. Or anything to start your combo. Pockets, same old. Two Tracer, two Synchron, one Recharger, and one Azure. You know, Azure though. I never really liked two of this card. Even though it's a free special summon when you open a rocket. Like some people like playing two out. I didn't like it because I found myself actually clogging on this more than something like Nocto. For the reason that like you only want to see this once ideally, because if you send this off Ravine turn one, you don't really want to see another one, and you don't need it because then you can like bounce Synchron off Tidying, or you can add it back off Seal, or you can, get it off Brotar or anything you need. So you just bring back the Abzo anyway. That's the reason for that. Two Tracer, two Synchron, one Recharger. That's just standard. Don't want to see them all the time, but you want to see them occasionally. So, one ofs, one white, one black, one Brotar, one Levy, one red MD. Same old, same old. This would have been the second Hazard, the Brotar. But Brotar is just really good because on your turn, such as Levy, and I find that more people are playing Geis's format. That randomly became popular. So, searching this post turn two becomes very good. Popping two. Your opponent has some back row, puts up some kind of board. No black metal. I preferred the Chamber Null Summon over the black metal, even though it draws a card. Because Seal's a monster effect, and I'd rather have a trap effect that can bring back the monster as well. So Seal doesn't play around. Is this something like Call by Talon, Silver, Ash? Hand traps. Three Ash, three Gamma, one Driver. There's like three more flex spots in this deck, which I chose for something else. But I found, Gammas and Ash being broken, Chaos Space discard, they Ash, you go Gamma, they draw, you go Gamma, they go Lance here, you Gamma. And the Ash is just generic. This could have been something else if I felt it was a more, defined group of decks in my pod, but, just went with Ash. Three Chaos Space, three Quick Launch, two Field Cells. This is just standard. You don't need nothing much to say about this. Um, three tidings, and then three rivalries.
Oh wow.
Was this card was ideally for something like prank kids, even going second. But I didn't play one the entire event. This came up versus a Drytron. They started with instant fusion, so went with rivalry and just killed him next turn. This was good versus a PK player. This was also really good versus Tri Brigade going first because they know some of the Beast Warrior and then they'll walk in the Beast Warrior so they can't make something like Shrag.
Oh yeah, I bet that snuck behind a lot of players, man.
Oh yeah, it did. Because my like my PK player, for example, uh, game one, I went second. He put up like Dark Rebellion XEs, the rank up magic spell, Rusty and Appaloosa. So I flipped this on his turn, and he's just like, oh, and then I just outgrinded him because he uses all his PKs and just had no more targets in deck and just I killed him next turn.
Insane.
Oh god, yes. And the next for the extra deck, one Striker, one Pisty, one Hawk, one Quarboro, one Romulus, uh, one Unicorn, one Access Code, one Appaloosa, one Bortle Sword,
God, yes.
and two Seal. I mean, this is extremely generic. Access Code Unicorn came up quite a bit. Just easier OTK. I find that something like Bortle Sword at least going second wise. I mean, when you can push with Bortle Sword for big amounts of damage over something like the Gnister Link 5, which I did not play. I mean, Link 6, but you know what I mean. It never came over as that, unfortunately. It never. I did summon Bortle Sword once this entire event, which is kind of unfortunate, but so. And then the three Synchros, Chaos Warrior, Savage, Hot Red. This is all just generic. Chaos Warrior is broken, Mill 5. And then last card I played Zombie Stein. The whole idea behind this card was I used to play Sanathon because then I would have play a lot of Drytrons and remote duels. I decided to go with this card for this event only for the reason that because it's 45 you can attack over something that's really big such as the Ignis Link because I thought a lot of people would be playing that for this event but I didn't play a single one. Um, Also sometimes you open clunky hands where you can only put up a Chaos War, kind of like just like Tracer Pop. So this will occasionally come up, and it's also just a big boy. He's a negate. Although some people don't expect. In Top Cut, this came up 3 times. Like, yeah, this was came up more than it should have, but it came up enough to the point where it's super impactful. And then the side deck, uh, 3 Nibs. Didn't send this card once, but it was in there. 3 Drolls, 3 Talents, 3 Twins. And then I went with 3 Meister. Uh, the whole idea behind this card was just that I know I wanted to play another hand trap in lieu of Droll and Nib because sometimes like one more hand trap is just more impactful versus one deck than another. So the whole idea behind Meister was for something like Virtual World, Tri Brigade, sometimes D-Link, and especially Drytron. This card's just solid overall. I mean, hit Nerval, hit Keenlaw, hit any Drytron name. It's also dark, so you can add off the Chaos Sewer, and you can go Chaos Space Mill. I thought this card was nice. It came up a few times, only versus a Drytron player. Talents on the side, I mean, I didn't find myself wanting to main it as much because it's only really good if you're going first, either game 2 or game 3. So, I really didn't opt to want to main that card. Yeah, besides that, the list is pretty standard.
Were there any back row decks that gave you any trouble since I'm seeing that you're only having the triple Twin Twisters?
I did not play any back row decks, so that worked out. I mean, I didn't play a single back row deck. I mean, when you do play back row decks, sometimes you can just push through it. I mean, yeah, it's really hard with only 3 twin in the side, but I find that sometimes when you're going, if you lose die roll, then it's hard to win game 1 if they just go set 5 because you don't have any back row movement in game 1. Game 2, you put in the twins, you have them game 2 going first, and then game 3, it's just kind of a toss up from there because they have side deck cards going in for you, probably like main deck Drolls, Talons, or whatever. So you kind of just hope for the best there, but I see the point, but I did not expect for a lot of back row decks. It was there obviously if I needed it, but I didn't play one the entire event, so
There you go,
Correct.
man. Better have it.
Yeah, better have it indeed.
So thank you again, William, and we wish you luck in the King of Games tournament coming soon.
Thanks.
Thank you. And listeners, if you're not part of Bortle Nation, suffer Bortle. It's that easy and it's free. Oh God, yes.
Oh God, yes.
Bortle out.